Jai Hind all. I am Vikas Roshan, Assistant Professor, Applied Science and Humanities Department, AKGC Ghaziabad. The subject is Essence of Indian Traditional Knowledge. In short, we say it like EITK, and the subject code is BNC 502, BNC 602. In this subject, I would take the second topic of the subject, that is theories of state formation. And in this video lecture, I would cover primarily evolutionary theory and force theory. However, there are four theories what you have to study in this subject as per the syllabus. Other two are the mystical theory and contact theory. So today I will talk about these two theories. First one is evolutionary theory and second one is force theory. So I'm starting with the first one, evolutionary theory. So evolutionary theory, as the name suggests, evolution, Vikas Kram. The things are happening because of gradual improvement. Small improvement later on happened in and that resulted in the form of a state. So a state came up in full-fledged form after going through various phases, various stages. So the state developed slowly over the long time. First one is slowly. It's not rapidly in one day or in 1 year or 10 or 100 years. It took a long time to become a state what we see today in full-fledged form. It was not created in the single day. It was not just the outcome of a sudden miracle like this. It took its time, and over the time, the full-fledged state form. And we are talking about the evolution, Vikas Kram. The things are happening because of gradual development. So according to this theory, the popular quote, what we can sum up, what defines the evolutionary theory in nut and shell is, the state is an ancient India was not created, rather it evolved. The state in ancient India was not created, rather it evolved over the time. Evolved, how evolved? As I talked, evolved through the gradual improvement, gradual updation. So now let's explain it in detail. In short, we can say that through these phases, a full-fledged state come into action. One is the family, the परिवार जो हमारा होता है, small family. Then the clan, then clan के बाद tribe, then Janpada, Mahajanpada, and the empire like Mauryan Empire. So a clear line of distinction can be made among these phases that shows that the small family-like structure gradually developed in form of clan. Then we see that in form of tribe, Janpada, Mahajanpada, and ultimately the empire. So the first people lived in families. We know that since we are studying that in context of Indian society, Indian states, you can say. So the earlier Indians, when they used to live in the form of tribes, the small family like a structure were there, mother, father, and son or daughter. This is a small family. At that time, you know that when you are living alone, when you are living the life isolated, at that time, they had having the fear of animals. They had having the fear of various wild animals. The sense of protection was missing, and for this, we see that in society there is it provides our unity is the strength, and that protects us all from all the adversaries or from all the disaster or problems. So the people lived in the families. Now, since we also know that when the civilization developed near the bank of rivers, like Indus Valley civilization, Indus River, Sindhu Ghati Sabhyata on the bank of Sindhu River, Indus River, because the rivers were the lifeline at that time. Not it only provided the drinking water, apart from that, we see that it was useful for agriculture. It helped the people to get settled near that area, because fertile land was also present. So the first people lived in the families. Many families formed to create a clan, kul, once it's like that, or with the same family or same relatives, you can say, and it forms the kul or it forms the clan. So in the second stage, the clans were formed, kul was formed, where the many families related with each other in terms of race. They started living together. They started helping each other, cooperating each other. Then comes the now we see that when clans get stronger, many more clans get together and started living together. They form a tribe. एक अपना tribe बना. They used to form the tribe where in that kabila, in that tribe, lots of people live together and they used to cooperate and coordinate with each other. So the clans formed tribes or jan. The tribes settled in the territories called Janpada. Now the area where these tribes used to settle were known as Janpada, and now you can correlate Janpada and Mahajanpada. Janpada, the territory where people used to live. So the tribes settle in the territories called Janpada. So we see that as the group become larger, from families to clan to tribe, now they have started to living in particular area that is known as Janpada, the smaller part of the state, you can say. The tribes settle in the territories called Janpada. Later, the powerful Janpadas become Mahajanpada. And Mahajanpada, we had talked about the 16 Mahajanpada in earlier classes. 16 Mahajanpada that were Kashi, Kausal, Kuru, Kamboj, Magad, Matas, Simal, Avanti, Asmak, Ang. Then come Vijji, Vas, and then Sarisena, Panchal, Gandhar, Chedi. So these 16 Mahajanpada were formed because they become larger and larger, they become stronger and stronger. So the small Janpadas become Mahajanpadas as it occupied larger territories, it allows larger population to settle there. And this Mahajanpadas also pave the way for make the way for formation of large empires like the Mauryan dynasty, Mauryan empire, you can say. So this is a small step by step or phases we can clearly define that how the state came into existence, and these are the prominent keywords with the family, with the clan, with the tribes. With they started settle near Janpadas. They form the Janpadas. They become stronger and become Mahajanpadas, and some of the Mahajanpadas form the empire. Now, some more details about this evolutionary theory. So, state formation is influenced by growth of how the state develops. We talked that a state is developed because of certain features, certain conducive environment, the growth of agriculture, increased food production. So we talked that if the facilities that is required for the cultivation, required for the development of any empire, any Mahajanpada, was the water, and thereafter the agriculture, fertile lands. So that a state formation, Janpada formation, was influenced by growth of agriculture, because if the good agricultural scope is there, it will ultimately allows larger population to settle there and meet their day-to-day fooding requirement. Discovery of iron tools improved farming and weapons. Irons were basically, we see that wars were very frequent at that time. So iron tools were used not only for farming, even for making utensils. It was used for thereafter it was used for weapon making that can help them in the fight. So discovery of iron tools also influence by state formation, that promotes, that influences, that induces the formation of a state. If iron tools, thereafter trade and cities started growing. Under the state formation, we see that trade and cities started growing. Since the population is growing, more and more opportunities are there, lots of Janpadas are there, and they can further accelerate their trading and commerce with the help of exchange of goods. earlier with the barter system, and thereafter with the coins. So trade and cities started growing. Cities started growing. Cities started getting developed. People needed protection and law and order, and that is one cause that promoted the formation of a state. Now people started living, but there must be a system that can protect their life, that can safeguard their interest, and before that, people needed protection and law and order, and either it can be provided by monarchies, by the king, or by the democracies. And we see that India is a democratic country. We elect our head, state head, and that state head represents the country. In earlier time, we talked that most of the most Mahajanpadas had having the system of monarchies where king used to rule, but some of them were also following democracies, in which Malla is one of the important Mahajanpada. So people needed protection, law and order, and the state is seen as a natural and continuous growth. So evolutionary theory is one of the theory that supports the fact that gradual improvement and continuous growth has brought out the current form of the states. As agriculture improved and iron tools were discovered, production increased, trade expanded, cities developed, and society became more and more complex. As the new things developed, new features were added in the lifestyle of people. Trade expanded, and more iron tools were discovered, and that ultimately formed the more and more complex and advanced form of the states. So to manage land, people, trade, and security, a structured state system evolved. And so the state was the result of social, economic, and political development, not just a sudden agreement or divine order. Divine order, what we study in the mystical theory. So it's not the state what we see today. Evolutionary theory says that it happened because of the gradual development. It's not because of some mystic or some god intervention or some contact. It's not because of that. Evolutionary theory put focus or put emphasis on the gradual development. And thereafter, in the second theory, what we have to know about the force theory. Force theory talks about that the society, the state is formed because of some force, power. The powerful people used to expand their tribes, and that forms the states. So according to this theory, the state was born out of the war and power. In the tribes, many people were there. Some were strong that used to protect the tribe from external aggression, and that people that protected everyone in the society, in the tribes, during the war, during the fight, were treated like the leader during the peacetime. So the force theory says that the powerful person, the forceful, since the society, since the states were formed because of the force, one tribe fight with other tribe, and once the first tribe is the winner, by virtue of the force, it will expand its area, its territory. It will involve the losing tribe in that in its original tribe. So we see that there is a clear influence of force here. The state was created by force and conquest, fight, war, and win. The strong people defeated big people. Victories and victorious group, winner group became the ruler. If two groups are fighting, the winner group generally take over the charge of the loser group, and the winner was treated like the king. Defeated people become the subjects. Subjects here subject means the defeated people become the part of that the powerful or winner community. You can say that they were considered the citizen of now the winner community, winner tribe. Power and military strength created the state. The state was created by power and military strength. The tribe, the state, the Janpada or Mahajanpada having much more military power will rule the state. War played an important role in the state formation. So we see that the basis behind the force theory is the war, the fight that erupts between the between two sides, and ultimately the powerful person, the winner person by force, used to make the larger state, used to make the larger society, larger tribe. Some more facts about the force theory. So many kingdoms expanded through war. War is sometimes inevitable. We see that even today, in this current modern time, we see that expansion and contraction is taking place because of the war. Our world has seen World War One, World War Two, and if the things go wrong, World War Three maybe maybe arriving in the future. Anyways, so war is not new concept. It has been happening in the past. It is happening today also. So the many kingdoms expanded through wars. We have seen that the boundaries of various continents, boundaries of various countries changed over the time. And how to why not consider our own Mahajanpadas? The boundary were expanded by Mauryan dynasty, by war. Powerful rulers captured nearby states. The powerful rulers used to expand its state boundary by winning neighboring countries, by winning neighboring janpadas. And once if they wins, they become stronger, they become larger, they occupy larger territories, and by this mean they become stronger and stronger. Large empires were formed after the victories, and the victory of stronger group over the weaker group makes the large empires. Army became an important part of the state. Now it was seen that the war was very common. The earlier ancient tribes, the earlier ancient janpadas used to give much more importance to the armies, much more importance to the uh, much more importance to these military tools. So protection and control required strong military power. Army is required not only for fight, even for your own protection. If you cannot protect your state, then what is the use of the army? So at that time, the army was made stronger and stronger so that the janpadas can be safeguarded from outer aggression, or if the ruler or the swami of the state is wishing to expand its own territory, in that situation, the king can further expand its territory, further allow its military to go for war and occupy more and more states. So rise of Magadha through the conquest, and the Magadha example is there. We have seen in the last lecture, we talked about various dynasties, and most of the dynasties were around the Magadha region at that time, be it be Mauryan dynasty, be it be Nanda dynasty, or be it be thereafter we see that strong armies helped small kingdoms become large empires. So overall, we can say at last we can conclude that for force theory is based on the formation of larger and larger states when force was applied by the stronger party on the weaker one, and it helped help in the formation of larger states. And in the evolutionary theory, we came to know about the evolution, that gradual improvement, gradual upgradation paved the way for the formation of larger states. So with this, I have covered these two topics. In coming video lecture, I would like to cover the topics like mystical theory, that believes in the fact that the state is formation because of some mystical event, because of God intervention, and the king was considered that the supreme power. Whereas we will also cover the contact theory. So thank you.